Now, out of
Why am I saying
curiosity,
that?
what's that split between community and DevRel? Like, what's the functional
But
split?
we are the technical people mostly. We do all the technical stuff. They care about the community. They give a
Okay.
home to the communities. Basically, my job is to give them more stuff to do. I'm pure outreach. The DA team made sure that when people came in, they don't leave because the product is bad. And the community team makes sure that they have a place to stay and they take care of them. And they manage the ambassador program, they manage the meetup program, they manage all those things. That is, Discord and join our Discord, all that things.
Yeah, that's very similar to how I've set that up in the past with, the evangelists, the community. But we've also had an OSPO where it's more on the code contribution side. So from an open source perspective, there's a little kind of something that I've also done. But I see that split. And a lot of times people mistake having an evangelist do the community side, which is that jack of all trades thing. And they're very separate skill sets. And sometimes for somebody who is very outgoing, doing that administrative type stuff is very time consuming and it's drains a lot of their energy. So it's a good, thing to have those separated in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about, thanks to Laura Tchaikovsky. She used to be our community manager at Couchbase years ago, and she really made me realize completely different jobs.
Completely
And
different.
she's great at what she does.
Yeah. Yeah, completely different. Big mistake that I think a lot of companies make is kind of treat that as one and expect the same results. Now, interesting.
And they give that to a junior person, which is say, well, hey, we're a small startup, we don't have enough money. Just hire a junior and let them do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other lie that you said, or one of the other lies, was that DevRel is a decoy. It's not, it's kind of the fake it till you make it. We're going to pretend to be a developer first company and make it look good from a developer perspective. But I think that if a company's product lines and everything isn't aligned to that developer outcome, that's something that is it's not going to work as well. I mean, I think the whole company needs to be aligned towards that developer mindset. And I think that's often overlooked as well. You can't just bolt on and say, go make us popular with developers.
So actually, that's a great point. Sales kickoff in February, Couchbase sales kickoff. First people to talk to SEs and open the conference after our VP of engineering was the DevRel and community team. Like we were the first to do a proper talk, not just introduction, just this is how a developer is important, which of course started with Steve Ballmer screaming developer to our field team, because that's how aligned the company is towards getting developers. So it is primordial. We are lucky enough to be really supported by the exec team at Couchbase. So it's a pretty good position to be in. They actually funded part of the DevRel program because as an SE that have been hired with a specific set of skills, which is mostly targeted towards architects and DBAs and ops, they realized that the more they were doing sales activities, the more they required developer knowledge. And so they realized that they needed to shift toward a more developer-friendly culture than used to be. Partly because of product shifted there, partly because that's what you do now when you sell a database. You don't have to talk too much about us because it's been abstracted. Now you have to talk about the value. You have to talk about the superpowers that you give to developer with your database. That's Adam Duvander's metaphor. Don't talk about the flower, just talk about throwing fireball. That's what people want to hear. And so our SEs were really used to talk about the flower. Look at a product, it's amazing. Now they need to talk about the rad stuff that you can do with that product. And so that's partly why the DevRel renewal Couchbase has been actually asked and funded by the sales team.
Cool.
100% alignment.
Well, that's good. I mean, like if they see the value in it, because it's not always the case. And I think that especially in the open source community, sometimes that kind of like sales focus makes some people in that space feel a little weird, right? I often pull out my hat when I talk anything sales related or marketing related, the evil supervillain hat, because but it's needed. It really is.
I've been interviewing for a couple of roles. I'm still hiring, by the way. I'm still hiring someone in the TMEA region, Turkey, Middle East, Africa, and Israel, based in Tel Aviv, if you're looking for a job. And during those interviews, every time I met someone new, I started by the red flags, which were we report to marketing, and we get to work with sales quite a lot. And that's fine. I think that's fine, and I think it's not something for you. I think you wouldn't be a good fit in that team. Probably other team, the TA team that don't talk to sales, but we as field people, we work with sales. We try to enable sales to be more developer friendly. That's super important.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you're at conferences, you might be manning the booth, you might be working with, folks on, trying to figure out, new ways to, present the technology in a way that is packageable and interesting to people who are looking for a solution. So, I mean, there's a lot there, and there's a lot of crossover. I actually do a presentation where I have a slide where I have like classic devrel, expectations versus like the sales and marketing, and they don't align, right? Because you think about like a pure community play, and it's like, oh, I'm getting developers in the door, where sales is like, how does that translate into actual sales? And you need to connect those two dots. Otherwise,
they should align. Yeah. We have the Couchbase values. One of them is trusted advisor, and it's one of the things that was very interesting to me when I came back talking to the SE team. The trusted advisor thing is that, if the SE team, the sales team, the people that are incentivized to selling more, they've been told, if it's not a good match, leave it be. It's fine. The market's big enough. Just go and talk to someone else. And it's a developed practice to do that. And so, I mean, there's no reason why SEs couldn't devrel. No reason at all. We shouldn't be doing devrel gatekeeping and say this is just a devrel thing. It shouldn't be. And that's also why I'm saying that maybe some of those job or terms will disappear once everybody's developer friendly and understand how developer works. And there's no reason why it should just be us. And really, really, really working with the SE team to make them more developer friendly.